Good evening. What's up, Hope Shot family? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Man, happy Mother's Day to all your mothers out there. Hope you guys enjoyed your day. I know we all did here. Well, I think we did. We did good on Mother's Day. We did some kayaking. We rode some bikes. We did some swimming. We got the day full of adventures. But Caesar, would you read the clarity statement if you have it on hand?
Absolutely. The Hope Shot Clarity Statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common: recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. Thank you for being a part of our Hope Shot family.
Thank you, Caesar. Hey, if you guys are just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here. Tell us what you did today. Let's hear it. What'd you do for Mother's Day? If you're struggling, put it out there. Let us know what you're going through. And tonight's topic, we're gonna talk about running from our mistakes. So I think that's the topic, right?
Was it learning from our mistakes or running from our mistakes?
Both.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Okay. I wasn't really paying attention because my lighting's all messed up and I'm hyper fixating on it.
Yo, before we got on here, see, it's just like, is my lighting good? What's my head shiny? What's going on? I look dark. Am I dark?
It is. It's very dark in here. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's good stuff. Let's say what's up to some people.
See, I'm going to learn from my mistake and not sit in this room next time.
Are you gonna run from it?
I'm going to run from this room. Yes.
What's up, Albert? Good evening, family. Grateful for today. Happy Mother's Day to all you women. Let's see. We got Heather. Hello from New Jersey. What's up, Heather? Let's see. We got Ashley. What's up, fam? Yo, yiggity yo.
All right.
Feeling some type of way, huh? I like it. Let's see. We got Kimberly. Went blueberry picking and fun on the farm today. That sounds nice.
Is that Kimberly, is Ivan your husband? Just curious.
Yeah, let Nate know. Yeah, blueberry picking. We've been struggling with blueberries. We would like get them from the store, and some were like sour, and some are sweet. I guess that's like most things. Kimberly says no.
Okay. That's another
is
one.
not
All right.
All right.
Just
I'm glad we got
checking.
that out of the way.
That's my boy.
Let's see. We got Kevin in Alaska. What's
Oh,
up, Kevin?
shit.
We got Kelly. Says hello from Oregon. Grateful for you guys. Grateful for you as well.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Kimberly's in Chiefland, Florida. Where's Chiefland from here? I don't know. Where's that located from, Tan? Is that Central Florida? Or is that up by Ocala?
No, it's not by
I
Ocala.
was gonna say, isn't it like Inverness?
Is
No.
it Inverness? I mean, it's close enough to freaking Ocala.
I think it's in like Levy County.
No clue where that is.
That's like up towards Tallahassee, right?
Oh yeah, it's north. Let's see. We got Brittany says happy Mother's Day, Tiff.
Aw. Tiffany's having lighting problems too.
She really dark. Caesar, you ain't got nothing, bro.
Way worse lighting problems than I'm having. The darkness.
There we go. Kimberly says above Inverness. So
Oh,
yeah.
Let's see. We got Lisa says went to my first meeting today in a long time since November. Well, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
Let's see. Kimberly says right by Mandy Spring. All right. So Caesar, man, we're gonna kick this off with you, bro. What? You don't want to go last? I don't even know where to put you anymore.
So messed up. So I guess I'll tie both of them in there. I spent most of my life before recovery running from my mistakes. You know, if I mess something up, I'd lie, try to hide it, try to cover it up, throw another one on the pile, and then just live in fear that I was going to be caught. You know, a lot of the issues that I was trying to cover up with drugs and alcohol were because I was trying to hide from my mistakes, run from my mistakes, and I never learned anything from them. And the difference is that if you don't learn anything from, or for me, if I don't learn anything when I make a mistake, I'm gonna repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what my life looked like before recovery was. Oh no, I got arrested. I shouldn't do that again. And then I go do the exact same thing again. Or, oh no, I got caught with drugs in my car, getting arrested again. And I never changed any of the behaviors that got me arrested. I would put it on, oh, wrong place, wrong time. I'd never say, hey, I'm just driving around dirty and, I happen to get pulled over. No, I was just in the wrong spot. Cops are out to get me. I had an excuse for every single thing that ever happened to me. Got bad grades in school. Well, it's because the school was wrong. And, if they would just bow to my idea of showing up at school once a week, then everything would be fine. I didn't really want to be there that much. And I spent my life just BSing and running from everything that was hard, every mistake that I did. And it's just a shitty way to live. And you just pile up all this guilt and shame and baggage. And it gets to the point where you don't even want to try anything anymore because in my mind, I just knew I was going to fail. So like the idea of getting sober, finding recovery, I didn't feel like I was worthy of it because I'd screwed everything else up in my life, and I could take accountability for that. Everything that I touched, I pretty much burnt down. Every opportunity I was given, I burnt down. So why would this be any different? Well, the difference was there was people that genuinely wanted to see me do well with no ulterior motive, which kind of blew my mind. I was like, what's in it for you guys? Like, I really don't understand why you've taken this interest in me and you want to help me out. So I'll fast forward, after going through this recovery process, it's given me courage to be able to face those moments when I actually genuinely make a mistake. And, I could say, crap, that didn't work out. If I owe an amends or an apology, I can make the apology and I can adjust my behavior. And that's what I never did in the past, because an apology without changed behavior is just a bunch of words and crap. So if you tell somebody, oh man, I'm really sorry that I borrowed your car and left it a mess, but you borrow their car and leave it a mess the next time and the next time and the next time, your words don't mean crap. So if I make a mistake, which I make plenty, and usually they're right underneath my own roof, the best thing I can do is change my behavior and make sure that I don't repeat that crap again. Then the words work again. Hey, I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to hurt your feelings when I said that. And then I don't say those words again. That apology is solid. That's an amends. If I say, hey, man, I'm really sorry I hurt your feelings, that was a rude thing to say. And then 2 days later, I drop the same one-liner that I think's funny, that my wife doesn't think's funny. That sucks, So I probably can say, as far as facing my mistakes and facing my fears and things like that, I had zero courage when I was out there. I may have thought I was a hard ass and all of that because I was doing time and I ran with certain people. But in all reality, as a man, I can tell you, I had zero courage. I would never fess up to a mistake. I would never make a true amends. I would sure as hell tell you I was sorry, but I wasn't sorry. I was usually sorry that I got caught for something. Today, being plugged into this power, being plugged in to a fellowship of people, this support group of people that are just surround me every day and truly care about me, being plugged into my higher power gives me the courage to face anything, and as I'm saying that, I'm thinking about like my job, man. I make decisions for 50, 75, it's a floating number, but 50 to 75 people's livelihoods And if I make a mistake, it costs other people. And I don't want to make those mistakes. But I'm in a position where it'd be very easy to put that off on somebody else. But today, when I do make a mistake, I own up to that shit. I'm the first one to make the phone call or whoever it is, because I don't want that shit sitting on my back, eating away at me, going, oh, no, you did it again, buddy. You know, we thought we were better than this, and here we are again. So there's no room for that in my life today. There's no room for cutting corners. There's no room for running away from my mistakes. There's no room for not making things right the right way. There's no room for not having integrity, especially when nobody's around, nobody's looking. I'm the same person that you see on this screen every single week. I'm the same person that Nathan and Justin and Tiffany see face to face. I'm no different. I don't put on a show for anybody. You know, I've got at best 14-year-old humor that, you know, that's just my thing. I'm like a child, but I am who I am, and I'm comfortable with who I am. And I'm at a point today where I can say the words, I don't know, because I don't have to know everything, and it's impossible for me to know everything. But in the past, I thought that it was best, if you didn't know the answer, to give a bullshit answer, because that was better than saying, I don't know. Well, today I know that I can say, I don't know, and that's okay. And I can say, I messed up, change my behavior, and then that's okay too. If I learn from something, it wasn't really that bad. I tell people get so hung up on their time, their years. Oh, I had 13 years, but I relapsed. And now that I lost my time, you know, screw it. Well, the time is the time. You know, you've got those years of experience. And if you made a mistake and you learn from it and you come out the other end stronger, then you can share that experience with somebody else and say, shit, man, you know, I messed up at this many years, but I stood back up and I went at it again, and I came out stronger for it. And I think the people that come into this deal and they have their stumble and they get back up, I think they have a stronger testimony than somebody that walked into this thing and just got it the first time and stayed in recovery for the rest of their life, you know, because it's relatable. We all make mistakes. We're all vulnerable. We all know what it feels like in our gut to screw up, especially people that are in recovery. They know what that feeling in the pit of their stomach, and you go, shit, I just did it again. I did not mean to do that. But I have a program today that tells me how to make these things right and how to not repeat the mistakes and how to learn from something and move forward and be better the next day. And for that, you know, I'm so blessed.
Thank you, Caesar. Man, I loved all that you said.
It would have been great if the lighting was good, though.
No, because of fucking lighting, Caesar. Sorry, but yeah, they even hear you. They're like, this dude's lighting's like really weird.
I can hear you over all that shiny forehead.
Yeah, it's too much, man. Oh man, that's good stuff, man. And that's so true about the clean time, man. You know, just so hung up on it. You know, we get hung up on the time that we had and the mistake, and it keeps us out there longer. I know a lot of people, man, that are still out there.
I got a buddy that the statement out of his mouth was, well, you know, I lost my time, so I might as well, and then you insert whatever you want there. But, you know, it's not a good decision that comes after I might as well, because I lost my time. I'll just drink casually. I'll just smoke this, or I'll just do that, because I don't have my time anymore. I don't have that one thing that was keeping me completely abstinent. And that's bull crap, because whatever that time was, you have the knowledge, the experience that you built up over that time, and it's not gone because you made a mistake. And there is some serious courage and bravery to get up in a room full of your people and go, I screwed up, but I still want this thing bad, so let's start over. And when those people do stand up and do that, I know for me, I would feel like there was going to be shame and all of this. And those people that stand up and say, I made that mistake are surrounded by love. They get the hugs and the phone calls and all of that. And it's beautiful when I see it happens, but some people don't build up the courage to be able to say they made the mistake, and it keeps them out there and it keeps them sick.
Kevin said we call it credit for time served. He put time there, time served.
Yeah.
We all know about that. Yeah, and that's true. You know what I mean? Like you can't, like we already did. We got the knowledge. We make a mistake. You know what I mean? It's not gone. You know, we still have the knowledge. We still have the experience. We just have to like tweak the freaking formula a little bit. You know what I mean? Just tweak the formula. Not start the freaking experiment all over. That's how I look at it. Let's see. I want to read some of these comments. Let's see. Okay, we got Christina. Happy Mother's Day to you, Christina. Hey fam, happy Mother's Day, ladies. Let's see. We got Lisa says, I have truly accepted most of my mistakes and recover is a strong right. Oh, is a struggle, right? Sorry. I read that wrong. Let's see, we got Ashley says, feeling of failure. We don't even try. I still struggle with this sometimes, but the only way to get past it is to try. We got Ito in the house. What up, family? Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there, especially you, Tiffany. We got Lady Spellbreaker. She says, I struggle with a lot of regret for everything my daughter learned watching me and my addiction. So true. Lindsay says, so true. This happened for me. My son hasn't talked to me in a year and just texted me Happy Mother's Day. The gifts of recovery. Ooh, that's awesome. And then Tony, what's up, Tony? He says, wow, this is right on time for me.
What's up, Tony?
Let's see. And we got Soul Support. Hey, my beautiful brothers and sisters. Sorry I'm late. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and motherly figures. God bless you all. World wouldn't be without you. So thank you. And that's facts right there. Mothers can do just, they're incredible humans, you know, stuff that us men can never even touch, you know. So I guess I'll just take it from here, and then I'm going to let Tiffany go and then Nate. So yeah, Mother's Day, man. You know, there's a lot of things that like I am a perfectionist and I carry it throughout my whole life. And I don't know if it's every addict, but I think it's a lot of us are just, we don't like to make mistakes. And when people point them out, or when you point out yourself and you like, it turns into this big deal, you know, and it could be the littlest or the biggest mistake, you know. I'll tell you today, for example, there's a lot of times where like, if I don't know something, I don't like to make a mistake or pretend like, or think I don't know something. I have to be a know-it-all because that's just my personality, I guess. It's my trait that I want to be a know-it-all, that like I have to know everything, even when I don't know something. It's just something I do. And today we went kayaking, and I go to the boat ramp and there's tons of boats, and we take the kayaks off, right? We're about to go on the boat ramp, and I drop everything off. I go around, go park, and I'm talking to these people. I was like, hey, where are you going with your board? And they're like, oh, it's a kayak ramp over here. And I'm like, you know, I get a little embarrassed. I'm like, oh, that's good to know. I went and picked them back up and then brought them back over there. And it's little things like that. You get all freaking flustered over, you know, it's the little things, you know, and it's like, it's not a big fucking deal, but all those little instances I've always made a big deal of and like get like just out of whack, you know, when it's not really that big of a deal. Nobody cares. Nobody even knows. But in my mind, I'm like, everybody knows. Look, they're looking at me, you know, like I'm that important. And it's crazy to think like that, you know, but that's my thinking, my stupid thinking. So that's like one of those instances, you know, and I do in my in my trade, I do drywall for a living, and a part of it is being perfect. You know, there's a perfectionism that goes into it, man. It's an art, it's a craft. You know what I mean? It truly is, and it bleeds over to my life. And like there, it's like don't want to make a mistake because a mistake is costly, right? Or it can cost you to do the whole job over again. So it's like you want to be on point, and then like trying to help people learn to trade is just it's like, where does it go? How does it work? You know, for making mistakes. And and I feel like that's how I am with my kids, with all of it. And I don't mean to be, but it's just the way it is, right? And so that's something I'm working on as we speak. I will say last Sunday at the I just want to talk about where I am right now, but last Sunday I sold everybody the social media thing. I put it down for a week, and I did, except for the things I have to do. You pick it up to use it as a tool, and that's what I did this week. I needed a break. Because this thing hasn't been right, and when this thing isn't right, you feel like the mistake, right? I feel like sometimes I'm the mistake, and I felt like that my whole life, and I feel like it now, and like, so I'm like, I need to correct this thing because this thing is sick still, and so like I'm trying to do things to manage to get me right. And so one thing I told myself I was going to put it down, and I did. And I'll tell you right now, I looked at my screen time. You know how like iPhone tells you your screen time? I saved 14 hours of my life from Facebook. Okay. I just gained 14 hours back. It's crazy, right? It's crazy to think about that. And it's just putting it down. And actually it's been kind of nice. And man, I was like, I've been taking that time and working on like doing meditation because I haven't. Nate and Kelly turned me on to this thing called Insight Timer, and it's an app that you can do meditations on, and I'm doing that instead of looking at Facebook in the morning, and it's doing well. I'll tell you this, it's doing well. And so I'm doing little tweaks in my life to make it so I don't feel like I'm the mistake, or I'm this nobody wants me around, or all those self-worth issues that I deal with. It comes out mostly when I'm not doing the things that are helping me, right? That's when all the bad negative thoughts, the negative behaviors, all those things come out. And I hate feeling that way. So that's why like this week has been a good week. And I just wanted to share that with y'all to let you know where I'm at and how it went this past week. And I feel like everybody should try it. It works if you work it, right? But yeah, that's it for me for the day. Let's see. We got let's see. Oh, there we go. We got Kevin. Kevin says, when you're pointing at someone, you got 3 fingers pointing back at yourself. And that's fact. That's the blame game, I played that for a long time. I love that game, but it was killing me inside. Let's see. We got Lady Spell says, I lost my only child, my daughter Kayla, to opiates laced with fentanyl on 9/9/2020 at the age of 22, and I made it through without relapse. I'm so sorry for your loss, and congratulations on not giving in and going backwards. That's probably one of the hardest situations to ever have to go through, and that really tests your recovery. And again, I'm so sorry for your loss. And she also says, taking accountability and making changes is so essential to our healing and recovery. We got Jenna says, happy Mother's Day to all the mamas. I love watching you guys every week. Thank you, and happy Mother's Day to you too. Let's see, we got we got Lady says, I deleted YouTube app off of my main phone to get my life back from social media addiction. I'm telling you, man, it is such an addiction. I was on this little thing where I go like from my emails to the Facebook to YouTube to Messenger. I had to get them all off my home screen, so it's an extra situation. Now I do business app because I have to run my business through social media, but I schedule all my posts so I don't have to be on it every day. And that is probably one of the best things that they made, and I did, is using that business suite to schedule all the posts for Hope Shot for um, my business. So it's been great. Let's see. Oh, we got Kimberly says, I find that journaling has been a great tool for me. What's up, Debbie? Glad to be here. Thank you for being here. Happy Mother's Day to you if you're a mother. Let's see. We got Mitch says, been clean from heroin for 6 months. Congratulations to you, my friend. All right, babe. The only mother in the house.
No, there's plenty of us mothers in the house. All these moms with me in the comments. Happy Mother's Day to all. And,
on the screen, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everyone's pumped up for another week. I'm so ready. I don't know about y'all, but my kids, for all y'all moms out there, we got the 2 weeks, well, for our school anyway, 2 weeks left until summer, and I am beyond ready for it. Sometimes I don't want summer to ever come, but this summer I'm ready for. Man. Yeah, happy Mother's Day. It was a great one, and I hope you guys did too. And it's crazy because thinking today, there was somebody who mentioned like the son had texted for the first time Happy Mother's Day, right? And it's like those moments are so freaking incredible because all of the work that we do to heal and to change behaviors and to do things differently. And then that tiny, not tiny, but then that like that moment when like you get that reward of something. I'm just so happy for you, and I'm so happy for all these other moms. There's many people that like I'm watching do the work and really just change, and they're reaching these huge goals that are just like, it's like the unification of families again, and it's just so beautiful. Anyways, yes, craziness with motherhood, actually, the whole mistakes thing. I'm not going to put anyone on blast, but I'll just put it this way, right? Like sometimes as I'm talking to children and my children, and like I'll be explaining, right? Okay, you're doing these things and you're saying you're sorry, but then you continue to do these things, right? Then you're not really sorry for doing them if you're going to continue to do them. So you need to not apologize, right? Let's be honest. And if you're not sorry and you're going to keep doing it, be okay with being honest with doing it, right? Like just all the normal things that, kids do. And then it really came down to the conversation, I was like, you need to get your stuff straight, right? She's like, well, how? I don't understand how I can do that. I said, what we are taught, right? I got to like share that, and it's seems simple to say, right? But like you just do the next right thing. And then you do, like, there's two directions we can walk in. Like you're either going to walk that way or you're going to walk that way. And if you're walking that way, it's one step at a time. And if you're walking that way, it's one step at a time, right? And it's like, I had that whole conversation of the next right thing or the next not right thing. And that's going to send you in whichever direction, And of course, the whole doing the next right thing and then the next right thing and then the next right thing, and all of a sudden you're 3 steps in that direction, and all of a sudden these things are flowing for you and through you and working in your favor, as opposed to when you're stepping in the other direction one step at a time and everything seems, there's pressure and heat and uncomfortability and unmanageability because you're going in the wrong direction, and it was interesting because as I'm trying to like paint this picture, I'm like walking in the one direction and then walking in the other direction, and we're talking it out, like painting a picture. And I'm sitting here like, it's so interesting to explain it because it's what I'm learning today still too. Right? Because just it's so easy on days where I feel great and like this is the best day ever, like, and then tomorrow I'll be so down, and I have to like remind myself, like, it's that simple for my mind to tell me I'm not worth it. Nobody needs me. I am a mess up, and all my mistakes amount to way more than I could ever fix. And then, like, I have to get myself back onto the right steps. I can either tell myself one thing and walk in that direction, or tell myself the other things and walk in this direction, right? Like, you can go to bed. Thank you so much. You can go to bed. Thank you. Yeah.
Motherhood. The saga continues.
Oh man. But it's just interesting how it's like all the same life lessons. Like I feel like it's just some of the lessons that like I just have to remind myself daily, and that I'm able to um I'm totally losing my train of thought. I do apologize. Um And it's so crazy too, listening to Justin and Caesar when you guys are sharing. Like, there's these things going on that I want to share, but then now that I lost all the trains of thoughts, right? Um, but yeah, the whole just learning from our mistakes and letting them go too, like being accept. I was going through a box, an old box, and on it it said like it was a folder from when I went to school, and it said, you know, be positive, be gentle with yourself, and have fun learning. And I was like, and that was for school, right? And I'm like, it's the same thing in my everyday life today, right? Like I'm gonna make mistakes, and I'm gonna have to learn from them and be gentle with myself. And if I'm gonna apologize for it, make sure I change the behavior to do something different and not continue that. But you know, uh it's beautiful days like today. It's beautiful days like today where I can feel good and laugh about it and connect with how the things that I'm sharing sometimes with, you know, my children, where it applies to myself too. And it's just really about forgiveness and moving forward and doing our best and breathing and knowing that, goodness, the reward that does come the moment we step one foot in that right direction. I have a couple situations that happened just this week with a couple different people that I talked to, and one decision in the right direction literally domino affected, and it was like this whole rainbow. Like, it was kind of weird, and it doesn't always happen like that. I get it. Like, I totally get it. But it was just kind of cool that that scenario happened that way, right? Like all these mistakes that we make and behind us, from this moment behind us, any mistake, right? Like from this moment forward, like so long as we choose to just that do that one next right thing, and that one next right thing can be so simple as bringing my cup to the kitchen sink and being happy. Like, it doesn't have to be some grand anything like we've talked about before, right? Just that one thing, and build off of that confidence of I did something right, and then do just that next right thing, and then it just continues, and then things start working in our favor. um Man, in motherhood, I'm sure I got plenty of moms on here that can really connect with. There are so many mistakes that we make. Man, my first baby girl, somebody mentioned it on here, the you know the mistakes that they watch us go through, and then like when we're in active addiction, right? And how hard that can be, man, and then like the guilt and the shame that goes along with that, right? And I personally have experienced it, and I'll tell you, it's wild. It's so wild. But just putting that foot in the right direction and continuing to do the next right thing, and all of a sudden, after some time and of course healing and processing, everybody at their own time, like my daughter, she's fully forgiven me, right? And like them being able to see that we can do change, and that in change it creates beauty, right? Things can change and get better, and it might take a long time, and it might take a little time for each person. It's different, but like and it builds, it really does. I mean, it builds care. I mean, I don't know, it's all of us go through things, and it makes us who we are today. And good, bad, and ugly, dang man, we're some cool people regardless, right? um I fully believe that, man. I'm so grateful to be surrounded by so many of us in recovery, living it and loving it, and really reaching our hands out to help people around us, and just like being these positive lights to like really love our communities. It's so cool. And I love you guys. Happy Mother's Day. I'm going to stop rambling. I feel like I could go on and on about it, but it's been an awesome day. I hope you guys have all had an awesome day. Thank you for tuning in with us for a Happy Mother's Day live with the Hope Shot, and we love you guys.
Thank you, Tiffany. Can I say one thing before you jump on, Justin?
I'm already jumped on, but yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, before you jump back on again, no. Tiffany said, you can be going in the right direction and make one small mistake, and then in your mind, you'll tell yourself, I'm a piece of shit. I'm not worthy, and freaking, and that is like the realest thing ever. Like, I can make the smallest mistake, and a mistake that really affects nobody. And I'll get into that type of thinking where I'm like, I just freaking suck, like freaking, I'm always going to suck. And I wanted to bring it up because the way out of that is the people around me. Is when I take the dark, ridiculous thoughts that are inside my head and I put them out in the light and I share them with my friends. And then I get to hear how ridiculous that they sound when I say them out loud. But when I keep them between my two ears, they spiral, man, and I'll get to that point where it just, everything sucks, like this sucks, that sucks, and I'm looking at the blessings that are all around me and I'm going, this is all just bullshit, like this all is crap. I suck. It sucks. Poor me. And I can't have that in my life, So I'm really glad that you shared that, because we have to talk about how our brains work, because that is definitely a theme with people in recovery or people that have struggled with any type of addiction. Is the self-talk in our head is usually pretty negative and pretty bad. And, without my support, without my people, and without my higher power, it would probably win out.
I was I want to add to that, because like sometimes when we make the mistake, it's not us. We don't become the mistake. You know what I mean? Like we identify.
We identify as the mistake.
Yeah, like it's us. Like we are our mistake. I am it. You know what I mean? And like that's something that goes deep inside. And that's what I was explaining. Like I am the mistake. You know what I mean? Like I'm not getting out of this, you know what I mean? Like alive, and it's so crippling at times, but everything's fixable. As Tiffany explained too, from this moment forward, everything is fixable, right?
If you have a pulse, it's fixable.
Yep. So thank you, babe, for being on here, and happy Mother's Day. And I get to celebrate you. So I'm grateful.
Thank you, Tiff. That was awesome.
Let's see. Let's read some comments.
Thank you, Tiffany, and and Kelly, for being mothers to all the other children that are on this screen. You guys are awesome.
Okay, Kevin says sorry's for board games. I really like that.
Sorry.
I really like that one. Let's see. We got Jenna. Good to see you, Jenna. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers. It's okay to be late. Let's see. We got Britt. Hello, family. It's a great day to be clean. Yes, it is. Stevie, good to see you. Prayers up for Stevie. She just had a loss in her family and lost a child. So if you can, put it in your prayers. I'm glad to see you, Stevie, and really praying for you. Let's see. We got Anna. Anna, we're gonna have her on at the end of the month, right? That's your people. Yes, she says Mother's Day is the worst day of the entire year for me. I have no children and no mother, so there is nothing to celebrate. I was told by an old timer in early recovery that when it comes to holidays, it's just another day, and that has always helped me. Just wanted to acknowledge it in case this is not a happy day for anyone else as well. And I'm glad you brought that up, because it might not be a good day for a lot of people. I mean, I lost my mom, and sometimes, well, a lot of times I think about, especially holidays, Mother's Day, Christmas. I think about it a lot, and I have regret. I wish that sometimes I have that survivor's guilt, I guess you could say, like, um, why couldn't I got this thing earlier, sooner? Like I could save somebody, you know what I mean? And because she died alone, and it sucks. Um, so I'm glad you brought that up. So thank you for that. Okay, Christina says, "Man, I felt that, Tiff. Thanks for the reminder. I'm worth it." Let's see. We got Sarah says, parenting like sobriety is so hard. Being a mom is tough, especially when struggling with addiction. The mommy guilt is deep. Progress, not perfection, is key to help sobriety and parenting. Dad, you get your day next month. LOL. Let's see. We got Russell says, "Happy Mother's Day, sweetheart." Ashley says, "I just filed for my youngest son, and it's been almost 10 years. I never, never had this opportunity. Never thought this opportunity was going to ever be possible. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other." Stevie, this Mother's Day is my first without my mother, and also after losing our 8-week-old daughter on Wednesday is a horrible, unexpected way that we won't have the answer to until the autopsy in 6 to 8 weeks, which doesn't work for my instant gratification character defect. This will forever be the worst part of May, sharing my clean time anniversary and my oldest daughter's birthday, and the day we said goodbye to our twin boy Elijah's beautiful twin Hannah, and Mother's Day. It truly is so hard words.
Can I just say I am super proud of you for coming on here and sharing that and being vulnerable and showing that you can stay in recovery no matter what. There is no thing that can pull you out of your recovery if you want it. And I think you just shared an example probably bigger than anything that I can think of. So thank you so much.
Yeah, she messaged the Hope Shot, and her first thought was going to a meeting, just like many other people that I know that have gone through tragedy, and that's the first thing they do is reach out, and that's where the recovery kicks in. That's where it really matters is when shit hits the fan. What do we do? So, let's see. We got Jenna says, "My oldest is in prison. I heard from him 2 days in a row. He was so happy to hear my voice. I've only got to talk to him a handful of times in 2 years. My other two haven't talked to me in almost 3 years. I'm only been sober 80 days, but I know all happens in time. That will be done." And I will say this, Jenna, take out that only part. You have 80 days. Be proud of that. Be super proud of that. 80 days, one day was such a daunting task to get to just one. Now you have 80 and you've add them all up. So don't please take that only out. And congratulations to you. And so I'm going to pass over to Nate now. What's up, Nate?
Hello, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. I'm going to touch on that here at the end after I talk about mistakes for a minute. Yeah, I used to say it back like before I got into recovery. I used to say I am a product of my mistakes. I felt that my life was a series of mistakes that led me to whatever destination: prison, hospitals, treatment centers, detoxes, out of my parents' good grace, out of my friends' good grace, fired from jobs. Like, I felt like I had this perception of what mistakes was, and justifiably so, because everything that went wrong in my life or wherever I ended up, I associated with the mistake. It had such a negative connotation, right? So, and so I get to recovery, and I am working with my mentor, and he said, "Hey Nate, why don't you just consider this, that they weren't and you didn't make any mistakes, they were lessons, you know?" And that hit me hard because for a minute I had to I sat and reflected, and I was like, you know, every, you know, s- um, supposed mistake that I made led me to where I am today. You know, why does it have to have this like horrible negative like association with it? And I remember early on in recovery too, that, and I promise that I'm not unique. If you're new in recovery, you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to get some stuff wrong, and that's just the way it is. Thankfully, I had this beautiful man in my life that showed me that I could change my perspective. I could stop looking at it as a mistake and start perceiving it as a lesson. And that is when, a lot of stuff started to shift for me, because, I say it on here all the time, how all of those nothings in my past became something, and, or how what was a liability became an asset. And it's the same for mistakes. If I can look back with an open mind and an open heart and truly see my path that led me to this point, they were every single supposed mistake was a great lesson. It was an opportunity for me to get closer to my true purpose. It gave me an opportunity to grow. Of course, I couldn't see it then. I wasn't even, I didn't have the wherewithal or the ability, to see anything other past like who I believed I was, which was a failure. I believed that, my entire existence was a failure. Everything I did was a failure. And so, yeah, of course, when I come into this deal, I'm going to, have to do some deep soul searching, some hard work, and I have to, you know, shocking, I have to connect to this power, right? And through this connection, first to my fellows, and then to this higher power, I'm able just to take a slight shift and change my perspective and start to see all these mistakes as lessons. And for me, that was like one of the most biggest revelations I had, early on in recovery, um, because guess what? I got into recovery and I was like a child. I've never done any adulting. I've never paid my own bills. I never really held a job. I never, um, had you know, a car with a car payment. My parents took care of everything. Yeah, I was just like a babe in the woods. I had no idea. So I'm just like, growing up in public, learning as I go. And it took me a while, man. And it took me a while early on to start really internalizing the idea that every mishap, every stumble was not only a lesson and an opportunity to grow, but it was really a gift. If we could start looking at our mistakes as a signpost, other than like a detour, it's like, our mistakes are just, I believe, our power showing us how we need to adjust. If we are connected to that power, we're able to receive it as such. If we're not, we're going to see it like, oh man, I'm doing something wrong again. I am not getting it right. You know, who am I to believe that I should be getting everything right when I've been shooting dope for 20 plus years? I've been spent almost all my life in prison. Of course, I am not going to get things right when I first get sober. It is a heck of a learning curve. You know what I mean? And that covers all aspects of my life. Friendships, relationships, employment, familial interaction, And yeah, so for me, even today, how am I able to maintain that open-mindedness and that awareness so I can start seeing, so I can continue to see my mistakes as lessons instead of the other way around. And for me, it's a matter, and what power exists in, how can we talk about mistakes and not talk about accountability and taking responsibility? I had never been accountable and I had never taken responsibility for anything. Today, my entire life is being accountable to, my tribe, my people, and it is taking responsibility for when I don't get things right. And how do I keep on top of that? You know what I mean? First and foremost, I stay so plugged in to my source on a daily basis. Not I don't just say I believe in this thing. I actively show and make the effort to initiate that conscious contact with who I believe in on a daily basis. And in that conscious contact, I am protected, and like Caesar so eloquently put, I don't have room in my spirit to carry my mistakes. I can't wear them like I used to, they are an anomaly. They're foreign, not to say that they don't happen often, but me keeping them inside and not addressing them is not acceptable for my spirit today. I can't, it doesn't fit, so in my daily practices, which is connecting to God, prayer, meditation, gratitude list, inventory, which is a nightly check-in. I check myself every night and see where I have gone wrong, and I share that with some of my friends. And in that process, I can be forever accountable, and I can do an honest self-assessment and see where I got some things wrong. And yeah, for me, I don't look at it as mistakes anymore. I look at it as lessons and an opportunity to grow. Um, and and I have plenty of opportunities to grow, I promise, because I am fallible. I'm just figuring out how to navigate in society and a community as a business owner, as running a nonprofit. I mean, we are figuring this out as we go, and not getting it right all the time. But thankfully I don't have to take, if I make a mistake, I don't take it personal. I don't, like when I first got here, I would think I'm doing it all wrong. What am I doing wrong in my recovery, that I made a mistake? Am I that self-righteous that I feel like I'm not susceptible to making a mistake? I need to check myself and my pride to understand, have some humility, and know that part of life is stumbling. Part of life is not getting it right, and then have the open mindedness to see it in that manner, which inevitably gives me the space to evolve and grow in this deal, and since it's Mother's Day, and I saw some comments in that related to you know um my mom passed, right? And you know I don't I have daughters, but I'm not in their life at all. um and there hasn't really been any indication that that might happen anytime soon. So like, how do I muster up the courage and you know or the ability to face a day like this, and not be overwhelmed with sadness, or and again, I'm going to go back to, um I have this limitless, infinite source of unconditional love through my connection to my higher power, right? That will allows me and affords me the grace to walk through anything. And you've seen it on here already, man. This girl that lost her daughter, and lost her mom. I'm telling you, and I one of my good best friends, man, lost his daughter to fentanyl a year ago, and he decided to get sober last week. And that's the power of this recovery journey, man. That's the power that I am connected to, that can allow me to show up in a way that I can, even, on a day like this when my mom is gone and I miss her so damn much, it hurts that she's not here. I didn't get to share this gift of recovery with her. Last time I saw her, I was walking out of the house in cuffs. And, but guess what? My dad is here. My dad doesn't have a solution, So I find my purpose in that, showing up for others, showing up for my dad and supporting him, doing the very thing my mom would want most, which is be here for her husband of 40 plus years. And in that, in that moment of servitude and getting out of myself, not making it about me and making it about how I can show up for somebody else, that, the pain of not having my mom here, turns from, sadness to gratitude, and it turns into appreciation. I was on my gratitude list this morning, man. I didn't wake up overwhelmed with sadness. I woke up with like immense gratitude and appreciation for everything that my mother was and still is to me, and so thankful for the opportunity to continue to help other mothers, through our nonprofit, and to show up, and for Anna, you say that you're not a mother, but how many women have you sponsored? How many, how many women's lives have you changed because of your example and because of this, the connection that you have with your source, you know yeah, I just I see it happening in these rooms all the time, in this fellowship, in this recovery process, the miracles. And one of them you know is for me, this is the biggest one, is to know that my solution lies A, in my connection to my higher power, and B, in being an example, a reflection of that unconditional love and forgiveness that it affords me. And in that, I am able to get out of my own way, get out of my own head, and show up in a way for others that can make anything, you know, any situation, any day, holiday, Father's Day, which is coming up, and where I won't have my, like, I will be okay because I am putting into the work to make sure I am protected and that I am connected enough to, help the children that I have the opportunity to help, and to be a son to the father who is still here, and to be a brother to the brother who is still here, and yeah, continue just to be an example of the grace and the favor that I have been so beautifully gifted with. Um, I could go on, but I won't. I know it's getting late, so that is it for Nate.
Thanks, Nate. Yeah, that should be a thing. But protected and connected. That should be a T-shirt or something.
And connected, man. Protected
Right?
and connected.
That's right.
Bro, you better make that
182.
shirt. Talking to you, Justin, you better make that shirt.
Protected and connected. I think that's
I
it.
really like that.
Yeah. Man, good stuff, Nate. That's exactly what I did today. It's like you sit here in sadness, but then you can be in gratitude for the appreciation for what she was, to you, and still is, and I love that. I love all of that, and showing up for your dad, dude, because he needs it more than anybody. I love that you do that too. I'll read some comments and then we'll wrap it up, man. Caesar, you want to add anything? Tiffany, you want to add anything? You good? Okay.
I just want to add a little bit, the little part that Nate touched on at the end. I mean, everything was awesome. Like, seriously, it's just, I just love you guys. But it takes a village, right? Like, we might not be, but the people that we help around us, man. I mean, I know today is Mother's Day, but take that out. I mean, every day, right, is just a day. And the people that we get to serve and help, like, that's just like where it all there's so much that good that stems from it, and it does take a village, and together we got this. And when we start feeling like crap, we reach out to these people, right? That and that's what creates our village and pulls us outside of self, and we serve others, and it's just like these things are the things that we're taught that really do make a difference, even when we don't feel like showing up and we don't want to, but like we show up for one another, and it takes a village, and through that we all get to do this together.
Exactly. Really does take a village. It does. We got Dana says, I love that. Mistakes happen and don't let them derail you. Everyone makes mistakes. Dust yourself off and keep moving forward. Russell, with 26 months clean, I still make mistakes, and I have the tools and support to work on changing those mistakes and keep growing and going. Sick. Don't get hung up on that crap, man. Don't get hung up, because I keep you there for a long time. Let's see. Albert says, Nate, I really appreciate your sharing. It was very helpful. Brenda says, powerful testimony, Nate. Christina says, thanks for sharing, everyone. Nate with some powerful stuff. As always, thank you all again. We got Big Steve in the house. Hey, guys. Love you, peeps.
Yo, Rockville Thursday, brother.
Is that when he's coming?
Yeah, he's coming Thursday.
Man, bastards.
Yeah.
Going Saturday and Sunday. I'm excited.
I'll be right here in Pasco County. Holding it.
Yeah. Well, what? Hold that shit down, then.
Mitch says he supports this movement 1000. Would like to share my story ASAP. Will message us. And then we have Beth, protected and connected. I'm telling you, that's a shirt. It's going on. It's happening. I shouldn't put it out there in social media land because it's already made right now. Oh, that's funny. Anyways, guys, man, thank you all for being here, for listening to us tonight, man, and happy Mother's Day again to all y'all. And join us next week, Sunday, 8 p.m. We go live every Sunday, Eastern time, because we in Florida. And hope you guys have a great week. And love y'all, man. Good night.